Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So today I just want to talk to you about something really important that you may or may not be doing, and it's building your stance off the ball. And why is that important? Well, it's about consistency. So if you really stop and think about it, you're just playing golf and you're setting up with a ton of variables already. You've got the lie, you've got we're not robots, so all the little things that we do differently in our swing every time, it's just a ton of variables. You want to remove as many variables as you possibly can. And how you set up your stance is probably one of the easiest ways to remove a ton of different variables. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I mean by that and really just show you some examples of what not to do. So here's an example of what I see a lot of people do, and just see if you can tell me in the comments even what might be an issue with this. Again, with consistency being the main thing. Did you see anything? So to break down some of the things that I think people could definitely improve upon by what you just saw is the fact that I like that they started behind the ball. So they're kind of getting a reference, they're walking into it, all good things. But they start, you've got two hands on the club. The club's not even on the ground or building off the ball. They take your stance and then they put it down, they're ready to go. The problem I have with this is when I do this, sometimes I might be here, sometimes I might be here, sometimes I might be here. Like there's no frame of reference for how far you are away from the ball, which means that you're for sure going to be different almost every time you're hitting these shots. Now, like, we're not robots, so even when you do it the way I'm going to suggest, you might be slightly different, but it's going to be closer to an exact science behind it. So now I'll show you how I go about doing it. And in no way am I saying this is the way that everybody should do it. You should develop your own like pre-shot routine in the way you want to do it. There are some key fundamentals though that I think are really important, and it should be consistent through everything. I'm on a chipping green because I set up off the ball the same way when I'm hitting chips in terms of my distances that I do with a driver. Like chips are great because I can hit 100 of these things for free and really drill in that repetition, and you're going to see your consistency and your chips also go way up by doing this. So I'll show just two different angles of this, of how I do it. And here's some key fundamentals for it. So when I'm getting to the ball, you're never going to see me have both hands on the club with a grip already established before I've started like my checklist I'm running through, because I don't know where this club face is really aimed at. I'll start there. Like that's just a variable. It might be slightly off here or there, but I'm not committing to anything. So I'm walking up, I've got the club in my right hand. I'm not taking a stance. The first thing I'm doing is I'm setting this down and I'm trying to line those grooves up to where my target is. The other thing for me is this elbow is always in the same spot. This is my first like frame of reference for how far I am from the ball right here. I'm never walking into it with my elbow out. This feels horrible to me. And I'm never walking in where my elbow's touching me. Like this is my first, I know the distance I am from the ball because of this elbow right here. This one thing that I can recognize very easily. Once I get those grooves lined up and I'm comfortable with it, then I'm gripping the club because I know where the club's aimed at now. So I'm not taking a grip before that. So once I've got this aimed, I've got my grip, my elbow's in the same spot always. Okay, now I build my stance parallel off the club face. I have a really easy frame of reference where I know where I'm aimed because I just took this time to aim that club at my target, take the grip. And now I can just go parallel to that. I'm not looking out at the target to figure out, oh, am I there or am I here? I'm going off the club. Really easy fundamentals that will make your setup so much more consistent. And the thing is, golf is a game of misses. 100%. You just want your misses to be better. That's how you play better golf. And being consistent in your setup is going to give you a chance to have better misses. But another important concept is the shot I'm hitting in the distance, because this is going to help you a lot as well. So like around the green, we're hitting chips right here, right? To that hole. I know where this is, the pin is right there. I don't need a ton of frame of reference from being behind the ball to figure out that I can go ahead and get this club set. I can see that I'm aimed at the target. It's pretty straightforward. Yeah. So I don't need a lot of help with that. I know where I'm aimed at. When you got long shots, like let's just say long irons, like 200 or drivers off the tee, here's another strategy that's really gonna help you in terms of your pre-shot routine and building off the ball. So I've got 2 alignment sticks here, and I just wanna show you a key concept. I want you to look at these in reference to that flag. Now, the one to the right is aimed right of the flag, right? And if I hit it dead straight to that flag, I'm gonna be 6 feet right of the flag. Not a big deal. I can make that putt. But then imagine you're hitting a drive, and let's just say you're hitting it 250 or longer. Look at the line that's gonna put you on. You're gonna be way right. This is why I'm saying it's a key element to understand what is really, really important is when I have a long shot, driver off the tee especially, if I take the same method and just try to look at my target with a driver, it's hard for me to actually know that the club face is aimed where I want, 280, 290 yards away. I can be off a little bit, it's pretty easy. So here's what I want you to do. Stand behind the ball, look at your target. So I'm gonna look at the part of the fairway that I wanna hit, and I'm gonna trace a line back, and I'm gonna find something about a foot in front of my golf ball, a dead piece of grass, part of a divot, something that is directly in line with where my target is. That is gonna be what I'm gonna aim my club face at. This is really important for long shots especially. So if this is a driver, I got my target, I'm tracing it back, and oh, there's a divot, and the right side of that divot is exactly in line with my target. Perfect. Same, walking up, one hand on the club, because I haven't figured out if it's aligned yet. I'm gonna make that happen. I'm gonna aim the face of the driver at my target about a foot in front of the ball that I picked. I know that my club is on path at that point. So from there, same drill. Build my grip, okay? Build my stance parallel to the club face, and boom, fire away. So those are some really easy things that you can do that are gonna make your shots so much more consistent. Now, when you first start doing these, be prepared for it to kind of suck. Like, here's the thing in golf. If you change anything, I want you just to go and accept that your first, like, say 20 shots they're gonna feel weird, and you're not gonna hit the best shots. There's one of the pros I used to work with gave me the best advice ever. He's like, if you change something in your swing and it feels good and you hit it great right away, you didn't change anything. And he would show me on camera, and he was right. I'd be like, oh, I'm doing this different. And he'd be like, no, it looks exactly the same. It should feel horrible because you're changing a muscle memory and you're doing something different. But that will go away after like 20, 30 reps. So that's a good litmus test too. If you're working on your swing and something feels good right away, video yourself and see if you're actually doing what you think you're doing. I hope this was helpful, and please like and subscribe.